It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John. Well, we are at the next best thing to a Friday, but John, we got our same great sponsors we always want to recognize. Without them, this little show's not possible. Sherwin-Williams House Paint, right there on 315 Jefferson Street. Give Greg Bradshaw and his staff a call anytime you start a home project with paint involved. They probably get you pointed in the right direction before you veer off and do something you really don't want to do. 836-8125.
And we got ProMed Ambulance serving Randolph, Lawrence, Ashley, Union, Dallas, and Calhoun County. Give them good folks a call at 1-800-634-0436. Tell them Uncle John and Kelly sent you. They'll sign you up on their priority membership ambulance care program, and you might get you a deal since we sent you.
Absolutely. And don't forget about Prescott Raceway doing the big races this Saturday, May 28th. This is Points Race. That means the gates open at noon. The time trials start at 2. It's $20 for spectators. A concession stand will be open. They got Super Pros coming to town. They got No Electronics coming to town, a Sportsman's Division, and Junior Nationals. Get on over there and check them out, man. It's like, $800 when you win, $300 if you're the runner-up, $75 to a semifinalist. Great stuff going on all over the place. If you need more information, give the track a call at 870-887-3981, or you could always call Jackie Lewis down at the Napa store in Magnolia.
Absolutely.
All right, John. Well, what we got going on here today on the next best thing to a Friday?
Well, I know I'm a little bit older than you, but in Arkansas, there was a staple in the radio community.
Okay.
That passed away last week.
Oh, no.
Bob Robbins.
Bob Robbins.
Man, he was at Kissin' 97 for 30 years, I believe.
Yeah, I heard of him. I remember the name.
Is Kissin' 96, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
KSSN. I had a dozen of them stickers, I'm KSSN in my car,
There you
go. He was born Robert Spears. He passed away last week. He's 78 years old. He's living in Sheridan. He started in the radio business at 14 years old.
Wow.
And let me tell you, he was a staple in the country music, well, the disc jockey world in Arkansas, for decades. He was voted the 1996 Broadcast Personality of the Year by the Country Music Association.
Look at there.
That's a big deal right
Absolutely.
there. Absolutely. He was put into the Country Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2008. And he also hosted a show called Bob Robbins Outdoors.
Yeah, okay.
But now I got to know Bob Robbins kind of personally. He owned, during the line dance craze in the early 80s, it's the Electric Cowboy now. They're on I-30 going into Little Rock before you get to university.
Right.
But it was BJ's star-studded honky-tonk back in them days.
Okay.
And, most of my friends in those days, a lot of my friends were musicians. And they would be, a lot of them, a lot of the locals would be called up, to open a show for somebody, big name coming through. My good friend Sammy Skiles, between him and my lifelong best drummer buddy Gary Stifler, Danny Tackett, those people, they played up there a lot back in those days.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times they opened up for a big name, but a lot of times they went up and played. Saturday night went up and played. And Bob Robbins owned it. He was part owner of it. I think there were several people that owned it. But he was the big draw because he was the big name. He was the Kissin' 96, DJ. Everybody knew Bob Robbins. And I kind of hung around with him some back in the dressing rooms, There was a real famous steel guitar player from the early Willie Nelson days named Jimmy Day.
Okay.
And him and Sammy Skiles were big buddies, and he had known Bob Robbins for years, and every time Sammy played up there, Jimmy Day usually flew in to Little Rock and either played with him or just came to hang out, And I spent a little bit of time with Bob Robbins, and had a few drinks with him. Very personable guy, as is usually the case, the person on the radio was not the person, off the radio.
Right.
But he was a very humble, very, very courteous, very quiet person, away from the radio mic. But great guy, great radio personality. Been there as long as I can remember, and it's just hard to think that he's gone now.
I'm telling you, you hate it when they're no longer around for you to tap into that wealth of talent anymore, man.
That's right.
Hey, that's going to wrap up Remember When with Uncle John here for today. But we'll be right back here tomorrow for you know what it's going to be, Top Tune Friday. We'll see you then, John.
See you tomorrow, Kelly.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.